Hey, welcome back to the Prince Medical TV. Here's your guy, the Prince Kelvin 28, and welcome back to another episode. So today's video is quite different because I will not be doing what you used to. You used to me dealing or talking about conditions, signs and symptoms, etiology, pathophysiology, treatments, and all those things. But I have realized that these things are quite boring because not all people who are my fans or my subscribers are after treatments or have conditions, or let me say are patients. Some just need some interesting content, something interesting. That's why actually, if you've been following me on TikTok, you know how I do my videos, because I know medicine is quite boring to non-medics. It is only interesting to people who have been to medical schools. They find those content very interesting. But for those who have not been to medical school, of course, if you start talking about medical jargons and scientific jargons, people get bored and they don't even watch those things. No matter how interesting you may think they are, they may not find anything interesting in those things. So actually, that's why I do my TikTok content differently. I try to get something interesting, something people don't know, or something people have been hearing about. I try and dig deeper and get the scientific baseline of those things. If there are stories, maybe people think that they are stereotypes or myths, you try and dig the science in those myths, and if it really makes sense, you bring up some good content, and you know that. So I've thought of doing the same on my YouTube, trying and doing diverse content that will be really interesting to everyone, even to non-medics, because I believe everyone has an experience in a hospital, either as a patient, as a relative, or a friend to someone who has been sick. All as a healthcare worker, everyone got a story to tell and the experiences in these health facilities. So I'll be giving my experiences once in a while. Then I'll also incorporate some medical conditions, gynecological conditions, and all those things. I didn't say that I'm dropping the previous content, only that I'm trying to put in or give some input, more interesting input in the channel. Yeah, so I'll be sharing my experiences once in a while. Maybe I can still try and find some experiences from different people, from doctors, from nurses, from clinicians, from physiotherapists, lab techs, and all. So my first experience was absolutely crazy, and every time I remember about it, I just laugh at myself. It was absolutely insane, and so this is what happened. So we were just from class. We had never been to a hospital before. We were just reading books, theories, and all those things, and saying we are medics, we are doctors, we are nurses, we are clinicians, we are physiotherapists, we are whatever. So, I picked up a few friends of mine. We were, I remember we were six. So we said we knew nothing about the hospital. We knew no place, no department at all. So we said the only department we knew about was maternity. So we decided we are going to that labor ward. Listen, it was so crazy because you've never been to that place. You just hear about stories, you just get those noises from outside, and you're like, "Huh, what's happening inside there?" But you have no idea what happens inside. So we walked in, and when we walked in, it was, I think, it was so busy that day, such that there was no one to talk to. There was no one who was idling aloud. So everyone was occupied with whatever they were doing. So we walked in and we were stranded and we were looking at each other. Hey, what next? Should we leave? Should we proceed? Should we go back? Or what should we do at this moment? And we were like, luckily enough, one nurse passed by and she was like, "Hey, students," and you know, we were dressed up like surgeons. You think we are surgeons, very neat, very organized. We were very smart. So she was like, "Hey, you students, what are you doing here? How can I help you?" And we are like, hey, she came along. So we introduced ourselves and we told her it was our first time in labor ward. So, and that was it. We knew nothing else. We didn't know what we were going there to do. We didn't even have objectives. So we just went there blindly. So she was like, where are your objectives? And we were like, we just came to see what happens in labor ward. And she was like, okay, fine. Right now there are so many deliveries going on. I hope you guys are comfortable. And she was like, I believe every one of you knows what happens in labor ward. Like, if it's a woman giving birth, you know how it happens. You have an idea of what goes on. And we're like, yeah, we are fine, we know. And she's like, okay, come along. But before then, she said, because of a patient's privacy, we are supposed to divide ourselves into two groups because we were 6, 3, 3.